Hello, guys. We're ready to begin now. So welcome to the Affiliate Millionaire Blueprint presentation panel. And we're going to be talking about how, basically how 4 regular guys went from being broke to super affiliates. Obviously, I didn't read these slides. In record time with the right mindset and the right tactics. And I'm glad to introduce Bryant Hussey, JJ Allen, and Giancarlo Barraza, and myself, Edward Hong. So first of all, let's meet Bryant. Say hi, Bryant.
My name is Bryant Hussey. I have been an affiliate marketer for 19 years, doing everything from e-commerce to running a lot of skincare trials, email marketing, you name it, and I've pretty much done it since '96. As everything says, I'm a very data-driven individual, and I just really feel that, in this business, the one thing that, means the most is, your reputation and what people think of you.
Cool.
Hey everyone, I'm JJ. I started in this industry back in 2013 in paid performance advertising. In my first 6 months, I generated my first $1 million. And then after that, we've just been doing, millions a year after that. I progressed from being an affiliate to being an advertiser, and now I own a bunch of different product lines across different verticals, such as the skincare, diet, muscle, and male enhancement as well.
Awesome.
John.
My name is Giancarlo Barraza. I'm from Lima, Peru, and I started affiliate marketing 2 years ago. And I just copy them and I make money.
We just copy you now.
I been working very hard these past 2 years and built 3 7-figure companies. Everything related to affiliate marketing, and I love inspiring people so they can achieve their dreams. That's it.
All right, and I'm Ed. I'm 29, born in New York, and I've been doing affiliate marketing ever since I dropped out of college in 2009, so that's 7 years. And, I learned from some of my mentors here, plus a lot of people who are at the affiliate summit, a lot of people who don't even show up to the show. They just come when the show's on, and we network, and it's great. All right, so let's talk about how to make 7 figures. And I feel like 7 figures is a number that everyone, who's kind of starting out wants to achieve. That's a pretty, established goal. So, Bryant, can you talk about what the super affiliate mindset really is? Because mindset's so important, right, Bryant?
I think it's about focus. So first and foremost, if your goal is to make 7 figures in a year, you can't look at it as a 7-figure number. I look at it as, 7 figures divided by 356. So you're actually, your goal should be, first of all, to look, achieve, 3K days, $2,500 days, really break it up precisely and have a plan. Don't just say, I'm going to throw spaghetti against the wall and hope, that I'm going to make some money. I think, really have a plan, have a focus, and take your goal. And the internet never sleeps. So take it and divide it across, 7 days and, 365 for the year. So that's one of the biggest things that I do.
So, JJ, what do you think about people who kind of jump from traffic source to traffic source or method to method?
Well, in doing that, you don't really master one true traffic source. If I were to start all over, what I would do is I would just start on one traffic source, master that, make as much as possible as I can in that one traffic source, and then move on to others after it was already systemized and stabilized.
And also, as to what JJ said, is if you're starting with one traffic source, I've seen way too many affiliates say, "Oh, I lost $500, so I'm just going to jump and I'm going to abandon Google." If you're afraid to lose $500, you're never going to make $1 million.
And Giancarlo, what can you talk about what verticals or traffic sources that you've had success with so far?
Okay, when I started, Eddie was one of my mentors too. He said, start with a flexible traffic source, and I started with Bing Traffic. It's flexible. You can start with $5. Their policies are not really that strong like Facebook, or Google. When you want to start, you make one mistake, they ban you. With Bing, for me, that's when I started doing my first $3,000 days, and I believe still possible. I see a lot of students that we teach that can achieve that. But most important, guys, what I believe is 90% is mindset, 10% is strategy. I work on my mind for 1 year, listening to positive things before I even started this. So when I started doing this, I already believed that I could do it. So first, you have to work very hard on your belief system. That you say you want to make $1 million, you can do it if you believe you can do it. So,
Hey, Johnny, I have a question. Do you think that it's too late in the game for anyone? Like, was there just enough traffic to go around where people can still do it?
I feel it's not late. I see a lot of people with hunger. There's a guy from New York that started actually in the beginning of this year, and today he's pushing $100,000 days, $100,000 a month. Sorry, and he's just hungry, and he just wants to do it. He wants to be successful. It's not late, but I definitely suggest people to start with flexible traffic sources if you want to learn and focus. Forget about $5,000, $10,000 days. How you will see us talk about that. Start with the $100 days and really master how to make $100 days with your eyes closed, and the rest becomes easy. It's just building, which we're gonna cover, building systems to grow it.
All right, that's awesome. So I want to talk about and so much of affiliate marketing is you're basically being an entrepreneur a lot of the times, unless you're working for some agency. I think a lot of people here just are here because they want to learn how a bunch of guys with no real formal education in terms of this industry were able to create successful businesses. So I know from my personal experience that I didn't come from a very wealthy family or I didn't have a silver spoon growing up. So I think a lot of us want to reiterate how important that hunger and drive is, just not just in affiliate marketing, but in business in general. And without that, dreams like 7-8 figures are pretty unattainable. Bryant, what do you have to?
I kind of agree with Ed. I've been in this game a lot longer than these guys, but I can tell you, I've worked for people. To this day, I still run the affiliate program for the biggest skin trial in the history of affiliate marketing. It's either, for me, it's either, you want it or you don't. And I know guys that, have Harvard educations, and, they're struggling every single day. So I'm not saying, don't go to college, but, it's a matter of, who wants it and who wants it more for me.
JJ?
Well, yeah, similar thing with me. I started a couple of years ago. I was actually unemployed. Just got fired from my job a couple days before Christmas, so it was a horrible time for me. And for some reason, I had a dumb idea that, hey, some people are making money online. It's got to be true. I met a couple people who actually do make money online, so it's got to be real. So I was like, instead of me finding another job, let me try to do this. Because ever since I could remember, since I was a kid, when most people want to become doctors, lawyers, astronauts, right? This is all I ever wanted to do. So if I could stay at home, just make $100 a day, and I won't have to go back to work, and I could just relax and be at peace, with my wife and stuff. And it wasn't until a couple of months later where, I started to actually want to have a family. So I had this big goal. Everybody wants to become a millionaire and stuff. I just wanted to take care of my family. So my first big goal was just that, I want to set up inheritance funds for my kid. I want to have a kid one day, but I can't bring a kid into this world, unemployed, being broke, having no money. So what I did was I said, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save $150,000. I save $150,000, then I can have a kid. Because if I can save $150,000, I put it to the side, you know, interest, investments, blah, 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 blah. I'm not an expert, right? But after 25 years, you know, from compound interest, that 150,000 then becomes almost $2 million. And then, wow, I just changed my family's, you know, my family generation to generations to come. So I created this in generation to generation inheritance fund for my children and for my children's children, because whether this business does good or not, whether this industry does well or not, which is doing very well, my family and my family's family will always be taken care of. So that's why I came into this business. I know everybody has their own, you know, reasons and things that they want to do, but for me, it was really my family, you know.
What I think is actually pretty funny is outside of people in the industry that are my friends, I cannot explain to my friends what I do for a living. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, don't worry. They're like, do you work? I'm like, yeah, I work. And I think once you can throw that out the window too, you know, that you'll become more successful.
All right. Well, let's get into some nitty gritty stuff. Sorry, a little under the weather. How to make 7 figures. And like we said, we're going to start with this number, 7 figures. So arbitrary, but everybody has a goal. So people want to first ask yourself, like, where are you currently? Where are you right now? What assets do you have? And those assets may be cash, or it may be your network, or it may be tangible, it may be intangible, but take stock of your assets currently, and then you can kind of build a plan to make use of your assets moving forward. Like, for example, when I first started, the only thing I learned how to do in high school and college, like the first year I went, was I knew how to write. So that kind of was my thing. I always knew how to write and write well. So so it was pretty simple for me to go into ad copy and ad writing and sales letter writing and stuff like that. And then figure out where you want to be. This is all basically mindset stuff. Like, it's very important to kind of have a very, like, set goal in terms of, like, what you want to achieve in this business. And for me, I always wanted to be one of the best Facebook advertisers in the U.S. And slowly but steadily, we're getting there.
So Ed, I have a question. Outside of cash, what is your most powerful asset?
Like I said, I always thought that writing was one of my skills. But other than that, you know, networking was something that I learned to do from, like, people like you guys, and you know, obviously this is kind of what we're gonna get into. There's 2 parts to successful warfare, and if you guys have ever read Art of War, right? There's the tactic side of it, where we can sit up here and tell you, okay, in order to get cheaper clicks on Facebook, you need to put a red border on your ad. All right, these are tactics, and tactics are pretty much, like, done by the people on the ground, right? People who see the battle and all that stuff. And then there's strategy, and this is what we're here to talk about mainly today, strategy. Like, what business decisions on a higher level can you make to get closer to your goal of 7 figures? Anything to add? We can move on. So yeah, we covered that, right? And where do you want to be? Okay, mindset. Why are we in this business? Oh yeah, okay. So why are we in this business? All right, why affiliate marketing? You guys want to talk about this?
Giancarlo?
Well, obviously, I don't like having a boss. You know, I was fired from all my jobs, and I do this business really for to be able to, you know, wake up whenever I want. I'm able to play with my kids. You know, I have 4 kids, by the way. I love when they come see me in the morning and have breakfast with them. But when I had 3 jobs, before affiliate marketing, you know, I could never see them. So for me, it's mostly that pain that I didn't see my older kids grow, and now I go everywhere with them. I go to the gym. We have breakfast. We have lunch, dinner. We travel all over the world. I travel probably 12 times this year. You know, so for me, it's just being able to have the lifestyle with my kids, which is, I'm a family guy. I'm not like these guys that like to go to the parties and I'm old. That's for me, honestly.
No comment.
So let's talk about some like overall. All right, let's get real here. So Bryant owns like a big
Affiliate. I'm involved in a large affiliate business.
yeah. So you own some brands, right?
Yeah.
Now, what the one thing that I always wanted to learn from Bryant was Bryant has a very analytical, data-centric mind, more so than I do. So I always wanted to pick his brain on, you know, what kind of data points, how do you choose the data points that you find to be critical to the business?
I think, how do I choose them? I look at every potential data point there is, and I score them. Obviously, the biggest thing is, you know, ROI. You know, am I losing money? Am I making money? I look at potential. But I line up every single data point, and I give each of them some kind of a weight. And sometimes, you know, it's least important ones. I mean, I want to look at everything, but I throw data points out the window all the time. I just think that statistical significance. Some people tell me that, hey, Bryant, you're crazy. You look at numbers too much. But I'm at this point where I rarely lose money on ads ever. You know, and part of it is, you know, I know that, you know, some guys, they spend $500 and they say, oh, okay, you know, I'm done. I send 500 clicks to an offer. For me, I'll send 40,000 to an offer. Because, you know, I know that, you know, $500, like, it's meaningless in statistical significance. And, you know, you can burn 40K in media, and some affiliates would have to, like, close shop forever. But I know that, you know, the learnings I get from 40K, I'm going to make that back tenfold. You know, so it's just a matter of, like, you know, knowing what data points are important to your personal business.
So just to clarify that statement, I think when you guys, obviously we haven't gone into detail about our business models and whatnot, mainly because they're confusing and long, but
That's great, bro. That was good.
Bryant owns a skin.
Yeah,
Can I say that?
I'm
Okay,
not-
skin product, right?
Yeah,
And-
I'm in the skincare trial. Bless you. I'm in the skincare trial rebuild business.
Okay, so yeah, we're pretty heavy in the rebuild business. Can we all say that? Okay.
Yeah.
And then what that requires is an upfront. We're paying for leads, so we're paying for leads at maybe a $40 cost per action, and we don't see that money back until I'd say at least.
So it's interesting you mentioned about that. So what I pay affiliates for a bounty is upwards of $20 higher than anyone else does. And they're like, how can you pay, you know, this?
Right. I don't pay that.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I pay, you know, he's paying $40 and I'm probably paying 60. Just because what I can put around it data wise, I'm making a hell of a lot more money on the back end. And the trade-off is $20. So yeah, I'm giving $20 back, but it's resulting in me having much more traffic. Everyone's like, you know, why would I send 1,000 leads to Ed when I can send 10,000 leads to Bryant? So.
Right.
I send it to Bryant.
They all send it to me, actually.
All right. So here we have a nice little diagram that JJ might want to
Oh yeah, so
explain.
basically, this is a diagram I got off of Jason Akatif from Ads for Dough, from his blog, is oof.com. I don't know how many O's and F's, but it's right up there. But it basically shows you the affiliate marketing business model, all right? And it shows you basically the industry that we're in and the different sections of where we're getting traffic, where we're diverting it to, those types of things, okay? So basically I use this because when we have people coming into into my business, into my office, into my team, this is the best way to like kind of explain what it is that we do, lay it all out. I've never seen the industry broken out into such a simplistic way as this. So this is basically, for the people who don't know what the affiliate marketing business is, the industry is, this is what it is. So you could take a picture of it, or you could write down the website.
So just as a show of hands, like who's actually like new in affiliate marketing here? Oh, all right. So a decent amount. All right, cool. And who's like who works for some like company, like in the biz? All right. And who's just like not new and you're just looking at us like we're crazy.
And who and who doesn't want to work for a company anymore?
All right. So
That's
we're
good.
we're mainly new here. Okay, that's cool. All right, so I can open up a little bit then. All right, so if you're new, I mean, I don't know how much is like strategy team building is really gonna affect. It might, but down the road when you start, you start your affiliate marketing business, right? Either you sell a product on Shopify, or you start generating leads for a solar panel company or insurance company or whatever it is, or you get into the same business we are in terms of like healthcare. Well, not healthcare, but health. You're gonna find that you're gonna be bogged down by a lot of menial tasks. It's no better than the equivalent of washing dishes in a restaurant. Like mentally, it's the same. It's as similar. It's draining. So Gianni, why don't you tell me how, or tell us how team building really skyrocketed your business? Because I know it played a huge factor. Am I right?
Yeah, obviously, I love. I mean, I honestly, I don't even like running traffic. I always look,
Yeah.
and I make more money doing it that way. I find people better than me, and I'm always looking for the best talent. Like for example, we do very good in Google, and I found this media buyer who is very analytical, and then I found I'm very good at finding talent on what's the website?
Upwork.
Upwork. They changed the name, right? Upwork. Well, my assistants even put the post to find like good web developers, programmers, to create landing pages. I'm always looking for talent. Right now we have 30 people in my team, and we're gonna be hiring 40 more. I'm all into knowing my numbers very, very well, and scaling it. And the best way you can do it is through hiring good talent and having a good project manager who will make sure that all the projects get done. And even now I have an assistant who reminds me every hour of my tasks, like literally, hey, you have to get this done, you have to book tickets, you have to do this. I'm always finding ways because I mean, time, you can get your time back. For me, I don't sell my time, so I'm always trying to find the best talent that can help me keep growing and achieving my goals.
So I want to talk about why, if you're new to affiliate marketing, why people in this industry or whatever, they they get dressed up and then talk about EPC, blah 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 blah, and then at the end of the day, it's all about results, right? It's all about numbers. It's all about data. It's all about how much did I pay for a CPA. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you dress it up. It comes down to performance marketing, and then there are people who, on the other hand, they understand the numbers, they understand the business, they understand the nitty gritty, but don't have the social aspect of it. Don't have the the entrepreneurial, let me go out and network side. So Bryant, can you talk about like how those two need to intermingle to succeed?
Absolutely. Excuse me. So, you do have, like I said, you have the people that are, very, they know their EPCs, they're very data driven, but they don't come out of the house. And then, you have the opposite where, you have the guys that they're very good at networking, but they don't know how to run traffic. And, so, for me, you can do one of two things. You could either, have someone go out and network for you and then have someone run the numbers. But like, I truly feel to be, successful at it is, I'm a huge data person. I mean, it's no secret. Whether I enjoy going out and networking or not, I have to, I have to do it. And yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is you have to do both. You have to meet people. And in my opinion, I love these shows. I love Affiliate Summit, but 90% of my networking, successful networking, gets done outside of the exhibit hall. Go to the parties, go to the events. Go on Facebook, talk on the forums. Like, you have to, be what's the word? Not aggressive, but yeah, you have to be a little aggressive.
JJ, you want to talk about your team building sheet here?
So this was also on Jason's blog, oof.com. So I remember when I first started, I wanted to like hire new employees and stuff, right? I wanted to hire new employees, have people, set up campaigns, et cetera, for me. I was like, so I have affiliate marketing business, an advertising business. I need to hire people, but how do I structure it? What kind of people do I need? How much do I pay them? Do I give them a commission? If I give them a commission, how much do I give them? Do I give them a hybrid? Do I set a cap? So it was all these questions that were going through my head. I wasn't exactly sure how to do it, so it was like a breath of fresh air when I found this. So this is basically an example of like the different positions of people that you can hire into your advertising and your affiliate marketing business. An idea of like, a range of the salary, a range of the commission structure. If you want to hire managers to oversee the advertising, the media buying department, what kind of structure do you give to them to oversee everything, right? As well as if you have a project manager and other expenses that you might have, office, rent, utilities, etc. So this basically gives you an idea of like, if you want to start to hire new people and build an affiliate marketing media buying business, then this will give you a great start of who do I need to hire, how much do I need to pay them, what kind of positions do I need in my business. A lot of these positions doesn't necessarily have to be in person, okay? A lot of these positions, like Johnny was saying, you could just get people off of Upwork, You could just get people off of there until you're finally able to start, your affiliate marketing business in person and have people working with you in your office.
So Johnny and JJ also mentioned the project manager. I have a project manager. He's really good. And for the first 6 months, I was like, what does he even do? I don't need a project manager. And now I realize he does everything. He calls me at 6 in the morning. He calls me at 1 o'clock in the morning, make sure that everything is done. And, if you have the means to do it, I would definitely recommend someone just to manage your projects. So it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I hire people because, I don't know about you guys, but I'll set up like one campaign, and then I want to take a nap. I'll tell you the truth. So the first person I hired was my brother, and I was like, listen, this is this one campaign. I need you to set this up like as many times as you can today. And by the time I woke up from my nap, we just made so much more money. I was like, this is the right way to go,
Yeah, it's like don't be afraid to let people do things.
Yeah.
You have to give up control. That's something that I learned. I gave it up. I'm to the point that I don't even have to be involved. I just like seeing the money coming in and counting the checks.
You just sign checks.
That's all I do.
So
Just cash checks.
a lot of what we do is based on traffic, right? Traffic is the key. You have your products, and Brian has a product, I have a product, Johnny has a product, JJ has a product. We all have products, but the product is, you buy some stock, and then the actual fulfillment or the actual like creation of a product is not difficult. What's difficult is creating the marketing behind it, creating a system that affiliates can jump on and really enjoy their experience with it. So when it comes to our skin trial or whatever it is, we have to give the affiliates a system that makes it easy for them to promote it, basically. And because of that, because the products are so abundant in this industry, whether it's lead gen or skin trials or whatever it is, traffic is at a very high premium. And when we hire media buyers, they know that. And sometimes because trade secrets, like our company secrets, are so actually really easy to implement, employees can just take your method and just go start their own agency. What do you guys do to combat that?
I think it's really an issue of, what motivates most people isn't money. If money really motivated people, they would have been rich already. So I don't think it's a matter of money. I think it's more a matter of that relationship with that person. Because if that person sees that they can still make more money with you and perhaps be an integral part of the business, or as they can grow within the company and start their own product line, then that might be a little bit different, because now you have somebody that's on your side who isn't necessarily there for the money, but is in there right now to learn the ropes so that they can grow with you within your company.
So I have two teams across two different things that are going on, and on one of my teams, the average tenure is around 7 years, and I have no fear of anyone leaving, just because you create a culture where you want people to love to come to work. And then on my other team, it's for a second product. It's I think it's just people want the ability to create, and for me, it's just create a good culture, and just have everyone be honest with you, and knock on wood, nobody's burned me yet.
I'll just chime in here. Like when I first started, when I was 21 or whatever, 22, I worked people really hard, right? And because they were making so little and working so hard, they kind of got tired of it.
They left you.
Yeah, they left. And then my second try at it, like right now actually is kind of my second try at it. And our employees come at 10 a.m. is our starting time. So, but they all come in at 10:30, and we end at 5, so it's only 6 hours with the lunch, and they all take like an hour and a half lunch.
I want to work with you. I want to work for you, man.
Hire me.
And it's pretty relaxed, So, and they all smoke cigarettes and all that stuff. So it's like, it's pretty, like you got to give, because sorry, we'll get to you in a second. This is mentally draining work. It really is. You gotta have a certain mindset where you can sit down at a computer, focus, and just do that all day. Like that's why we hire gamers. A lot of gamers work for us because they're used to just sitting there and clicking. So, and it's weird because you're sitting at our office and all you hear is click, 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 click. It's funny, but it's super tough to do this, and if somebody's gonna work for you, and put their mental energy into helping you make your dreams come true, you have to make sure they're taken care of. Should we take questions at the end?
Yes,
Right.
questions at the end.
Questions at the end, please. Thank you. Sorry. All right, systems. Systems are pretty interesting. Systems are basically what help your business, run kind of without you micromanaging everything. If you need a new domain, right? You can't have to say to your employee, okay, we're gonna buy a new domain today, so go to Namecheap or whatever. You need certain systems in place, and that requires documentations. It requires good training. So Bryant, or JJ actually, what kind of like documentation do you give to your employees or system,
Documentation.
Yeah.
Well, we have a back end that has more like a video archive or video library showing them how to do different tasks. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but other than
Like
that,
SOPs. Do you have SOPs?
Yeah.
like what in your media buying or affiliate marketing business, what do you feel like is the most important system that you rely on to make sure your business runs?
Traffic. So we have two systems. Our system is in traffic is current traffic, active traffic, and pending traffic. So things that we're working on, like campaigns that we're working on to go through. Because what happens is, sometimes accounts or campaigns may run forever, and sometimes they don't. I rely on the fact that they don't. So I rely on, we give our accounts or our campaigns a lifespan. So we may only have this campaign live and active for, let's say, 30 days. Out of 30 days, we're going to make X amount of dollars. So then we structure that towards, our game plan for the month and the goals that we're trying to get for the month as well.
I just think following a process and procedure is the best way. I have one of my media buyers here in the back, and she'll tell you that I kick and scream all day. Because I'm like, why is it going to take 30 days, when it should take 30 minutes? And it's just like, if you want it done right, you're going to wait 30 days. And if you want it done in 30 minutes, you're going to lose money hand over fist. And that's also where, like, project managers come in. For me, like, they're the voice of reason. And even if I just copy a website, complete copy, new domain, I have like a 200-point checklist. Everything must be QA'd, every device, every browser, even though, we've never had a hiccup, but like I don't want one to occur because I didn't QA it this time. So even to copy a site for me can take like 5 days because everything has to go, there's a process and a procedure to everything.
So in my company or agency, we have a very like systemized flow. All right, so let's say we start a new campaign. It goes to the marketing director or whatever you would call him. He's just some dude, and then he's not like, when I say marketing director, I don't mean some like what's that guy John Hamm in Mad Men? It's just some regular guy.
He's in the back, no.
And he has certain rules that he looks at, and then he gives it to the ad guy, and then once it gets to the ad guy, he looks over the ads, and it goes to the LP guy, the landing page guy, and then it goes to the to the product page guy or whatever. There's and this system was not born out of a week or like 2 weeks. This, like, we had to develop this over years of like constant trial and error. And wait, this was the bottleneck, last time. We should avoid this by doing something else this time. And these systems kind of take experience. When you're just starting out, the biggest system I think you wanna create is just how do I buy traffic and how do I sell it, like, for a profit. Alrighty. Value. Okay, here's something interesting. Value. You guys want to talk about value? Like, there's certain parts like Facebook. I advertise a lot on Facebook. I know you guys do too. So Facebook recently has become really popular. Well, it's always been really popular, but I've noticed that the CPMs have been rising on Facebook. And there's always going to be new traffic sources and new ways to promote. But what's your approach to new traffic sources? Or do you even do new traffic sources?
I'm sticking to what I know right now. What's working the best for us right now is what I'm sticking to.
Okay.
There's only a couple of major traffic sources, and out of those, we picked a couple.
All right, so in that, like, let's say in your traffic source, there's pockets of value that you can find within different demographic targeting, within different, all that crap. Like, what do you guys Brian or Johnny, you guys wanna chime in?
Well,
on
I
that?
usually put up, we do native, we do Facebook, we do Google, we do Bing, we do email traffic. And I always constantly do research and development on testing new traffic sources because we are in the teaching business. So, you know, always get one of my media media buyers, and give him a, you know, let's say $10,000 budget, go play with this traffic source and make it work. You know, I'm always constantly giving challenges to my media buyers, because we always want to see if there's potential. But to be honest, you know, for scaling, you know, if you know either some type of native Facebook, Google, you can pretty much scale to millions. That's all
So,
you
yeah,
need.
I find pockets of value in the actual targeting. You know, some people, if they're running Google, you know, you throw up all placements and, you know, you pick off what doesn't work. You know, where on Facebook, it's the complete opposite, where, you know, you're setting your targets in advance, right? It's a completely different type of media buyer. So someone who's good at both, obviously, you know, they're in a much greater position to be more successful. The difference now is that not everyone looks at is, I look at things like, you know, if your, you know, target demo is, you know, 35 to 45, right? You know, are you running one set of ads, 35 to 45? Or are you running 10 set of ads, you know, with each set towards the respective age, you know, 35, 36, 37, 38-year-olds? So I look at my pockets of value are, you know, certain ages and even at certain times. So, you know, you can find an ad that, you know, this ad is only successful when it's 35-year-old women at 6 p.m. and it's just this ad unit. And, you know, I'll trade off volume sometimes for just really high ROI ads. And that's where I find the pockets, is in like the actual targeting.
For our company, we find pockets of value in terms of like most of the big buyers on Facebook and Google are big brands, right? Like Ford or whatever, or Dell, and think about like where they're targeting, you know, and they're just going, all right, just give me everything you got, right? But that's gonna drive up most of the price, and then but you can find, for example, one of our most successful campaigns was a skin ad in you know, in the U.S. on Facebook, but it was Spanish language, right? So that demographic was actually close to 8 million people, and that's a lot of cheap clicks. So we actually got, I would say, compared to a U.S. demo where we're paying like 80 cents a click, we were paying close to like 15 cents. And actually it converted just as well or even better. So that's pretty, you know, that's the ROI is just going to be really good. Although the rebills might not be.
The Spanish chargeback.
All right, tactics. All right, so I guess, you know, we mainly do Facebook advertising. So, you know, I guess we can talk about some Facebook tips, if you guys want to do that.
You are the Facebook king.
You're the Facebook king, man.
I'm not.
You're the Facebook king.
I'm the prince.
No, I love Facebook, man. I love Facebook.
All right, we can talk about some Facebook. Like, there's a couple ways to get started here. Like, Facebook has an amazing user engagement, you know, on the newsfeed. So if you provide good ads and good value, like, people are gonna click and people will buy. I buy stuff on Facebook. I just recently bought a Mastermind, Tim Bird's Mastermind. I don't know why I did that, but one thing that people can get started with is Shopify, you know, stuff. What I see is really hot now is people going on AliExpress, finding a product that's really hot, putting it on a Shopify site. It takes like I don't know, a couple hours, and then promoting that on Facebook, and people are getting insane volume. Like I saw one guy, he was doing 30K days with like 2K ad spend. Is that crazy? That's pretty crazy. So I saw that. I was like, yo, I gotta reach out to this guy.
There's other things you could take advantage of. Like I know there's one person, they found you know those K cups, the Keurig K cup stuff.
Oh.
So they found like a special, like it was on sale, you know, like a clearance sale. So they bought everything that they had left and just sold it, and they've been making hand over fist money like that all day long.
Yeah, I know a guy who does $1,000 days selling cell phone cases.
Yeah, that's always
That's
big.
which is huge.
So, like as you can see, what we deal with is in traffic and how to buy traffic at a certain price, but we know that it's higher value than that. Like a lead is $40 to me or $60 to Bryant. So why, if we can buy that lead at 20, then we're in business. That's affiliate marketing in a nutshell, right? So as long as you're good at that and you create systems that help you do that on a higher scale, it's quite simple actually. And then this is some stuff like tactics. Like, all right, so Facebook, you can I always go for like I can tell you ad copy like 2016, high quality, exclusive. These words work well, but
Trigger words?
yeah, trigger words, trick, stuff like that. So but at the end of the day, you don't know until you test it, right? So like I can tell you this is how to like make your ad CTR go amazing, and then I might be wrong though. If you try it and you try something else and it's better, like it makes me a fool to kind of like give you a
I
method.
actually want to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
You know?
it's about the data.
Yeah.
And I guess the only way to know is to this is you get what I'm saying. All right, so but at the same time we will go into some tactics. So this is a McDonald's ad that we saw on, I believe this is display. Am I right?
Yeah, it looks like a
Whose ad is this, Johnny?
This is Johnny's ass. He sells McDonald's all day. Look at him.
No, this is an example of a display ad.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, these all have the same factors, call to action, very important, branding, take advantage of it, blah, blah, blah. And then,
Ooh, I did this.
Okay.
So here's like an interesting thing I did the other day, or a couple of weeks or months ago, right? Because I shared it with you in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, so I remember one of my media advisors was saying, this campaign isn't working anymore. This landing page is no good. Nothing's good. It's not working anymore. I'm like, calm down. Like, there's got to be something wrong. Like, what can we do differently with this to help increase our return on it, right? I told him, let's do this. Have you ever seen a landing page where at the bottom it's got like step 1 and step 2, or maybe just a step 1, and it's got the bottle image of whatever the product is, whether it's like a diet, skincare, muscle, whatever. I told him, why don't you do this? Why don't you take out that bottle image, take the bottle image out completely, and I want you to do a couple different things, like add a background color, a different style here, and there. But we're just going to change that one little section, and in doing that, we increased our conversions. Our CTR went from 15% with the image to 13% without the image. Right? CTR didn't change, but our conversion rates went from 6.7% to 17.2%. So instead of me making $1,900, we made $4,100. So sometimes it's little split tests that you don't even know that might make a difference that actually does impact the bottom line at the end of the day. For example, you could change the background color of the page itself. There's different things that you can do to try to change things. I know another thing you can do is you could change the stock photo of the bottle image, change it. Sometimes some people have a stock photo that doesn't match the landing page or the sales page of the offer. So use a different one that matches that, or you could actually, buy the product, once you get it home, take out your phone, take a picture, and put it on as well. Sometimes that helps with the CTR in itself. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do right there on the landing page, different tactics. and that you can do to be able to get more money at the end of the day.
What I've also noticed is don't, it works for me, don't put hyperlinks on your pre-sale style pages too early. You know, you'll get a ton of clicks, but your conversions are, 1%, 2%. Where if you drop your, hyperlinks lower, your click-through rate may drop, significantly lower, but your conversion rate is 4 or 5-fold. So, I've noticed that, after clicking on the ad, people want to read. So for these, the type of advertising that I'm doing is like education is qualification. Correct. So the deeper they get into the page, the higher the conversion rates, hands down.
So you want more educated clicks versus unintentional clicks.
Like, yeah, you could say, oh yeah, my pre-sale click-through was 20%. Yeah, it's fantastic, but you know what, my conversion rate was 1%, where I'll trade that off, for a 5%, with 20% conversion.
So, all right, you guys get it. So, questions?
Gentleman with the purple.
You what?
Yes, please don't take this as a complaint, but three of you, Giancarlo, JJ, and Bryant, all shared with us. Giancarlo, you've got 30 people. Bryant, you don't mind spending 40,000. JJ had a nice spreadsheet showing you which kind of person you might want to hire next.
Correct.
I go back to where Bryant started. Don't be scared to spend $500. None of us are. We bought the ticket.
Yeah.
I was defending.
No, that's perfect, yeah.
What I was hoping to hear is how you got from the $500 to the, you skipped that whole business. You went from, I'm not afraid to spend 500, now I got 30 people working for me. That's what I wanted to hear, was that journey in the middle. So I know we're just about out of time, but if any of you could speak to that.
Honestly, for me, making my first $100 a day and making my first $1,000 a day, there was no real difference except for how much money I spent was really the only difference. That was the bottom line, the only difference. It would become a problem is if the targeting for my campaign wasn't right. So for example, I know that some people like to do the highly targeted campaigns like on Facebook, only get 1 million people in audience or 500,000, whatever, right? So what happens when you have a small audience is that you can't scale that campaign. So some people, they spend $500 a day and they make $3,000 from that, but they have such a small audience that that campaign can never scale. So to make a scalable campaign, it needs to be very broad. For Facebook, for example, it needs to be very broad so it attracts many different people. It speaks to the right audience.
I also think it's very difficult to cover everything in like an hour, especially for 4 people. But focus on, like we said, just buying traffic, even if it's a small amount, and being able to sell it for a profit. And that's whether it's lead gen, whether it's app installs, people do that. All kinds of amazing stuff that I can't even speak to because it's complicated.
And for me, I mean, it's been 19 years. I've been doing this since 1996. I was an intern at vitaminshop.com. So I still run the largest skincare affiliate program for a company. I run their affiliate program. So for me, it's sleepless nights, and I could go through the journey. Probably take about a week to tell you.
If you guys want a blueprint, I have a blueprint step by step that will make your first sale. The way I started, it's very simple. I went to Bing, okay, and Bing and ClickBank to start for newbies is the fastest way for you to learn. Okay, and I start direct linking. For example, diabetes destroyer. Okay, converts very well, and you can go to Bing and you can buy the free version of iEspionage and download the keywords for the diabetes offer. And what I did is I put the keywords in Bing. I get some example ads that I see from the iEspionage for the diabetes offer, and then you direct link first to the offer to see if it converts, and you will make your first sales actually. If you want a blueprint, I can talk to you later and I can give you so you can have it. You're gonna love it. Then what I did after I started making like $200 a day with this strategy, I added then a lander in the middle, okay, to start more controlling more and maybe adding good copy into the lander. Why don't I do a lander right away? Because most people are not technical, so why are you gonna confuse them? Okay, but even with direct linking, you can make $100 with direct linking with a good offer in ClickBank. After you add a lander and it's working, okay, then I start thinking about, okay, how can I scale this? Because Bing the traffic is limited, obviously. It doesn't have good traffic like Facebook or Google that you can explode to $30,000 a day, you know? So then after that, I work on how I can take this campaign into Google, okay? But Google's a little more complicated, so that's why, you know, I don't suggest right away if you're a newbie. If you're advanced, you know, there's a whole new level. But this is for starters. Like the guy said, you guys you skipped the most important thing that a beginner struggles. And if you start with what I just told you, you're gonna really learn. And your first goal is to learn how to optimize. You know, cut the losers and keep the winners, and keep cutting the keywords that are not making you money. And it's a process. Once you master that, it's about what we talk about, systems. You know, how can I take my $300 campaign and make 3,000? Well, you have to build a machine for
All right,
that.
I think we're just about out of
One
time.
second, right here.
Can you guys tell me about what platforms you might recommend or use or like for page development, nurturing, that kind of thing?
I would say to come after the session because we're not supposed to plug anyone.
Oh, really? We can't even plug ourselves?
Well, I use edhong.com.
EdwardHong.com, baby. That's my blog, but it has nothing salesy on it. Okay.
For landing pages, we're gonna talk about landing pages.
I mean, landing pages get
landing-
developers to do it.
Landing pages is pretty much model what's working. Okay, when you learn how to spy, you model, you get from someone, and then you improve what's working. That's it. I done millions of dollars just modeling a winning offer from someone else.
Anyway, we're gonna be hanging out, right? So just feel free to hit us up.
And just for a
for
reminder,
questions.
the feedback form, just don't even bother reading it. Just put 5 everywhere.
I really gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, 10? Oh, I'm sorry. Put 10 everywhere.
Thank you, guys.